Okay, good morning and welcome to Mo Knows, featuring me, Monica Mo Justice. Okay. Okay, good morning and welcome to All right. I didn't do one thing I had to do for this morning. All right, I have to be out of here by 9:30 because I want to go to the nail salon today. It's Saturday and I want to go to the nail salon. Um hey, hey KK, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Karen's perspective. Haven't seen any perspective from you this month. Oh shit, I should have named this video Monica's perspective this morning. I should have named it that. I hate when I need a mirror. I need a mirror. Okay. I'm not even going to act like I don't have an agenda today. I have an agenda today. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. No, I might settle for going to the. I have so many things I want to do today, so I might just do that. Let me see. I was watching somebody's video in another community, in another community, and she said, "No intro, no outro, just this big hoe." Well, I'm laying low on the scripts. Okay, you're laying low on the scripts. Yes, I think I could see that. I could see that. And I could see people trying to pull people into their scripts and stuff. I could see that. Because I kind of got a taste for that yesterday, but I'm always surprised when people try to show me videos of people talking shit about me that I've never seen before and they expect me to react to it. I have to wonder why they do the things they do around here. I'm sure if I go through, well, Karen, you're still here. I'm sure if I go through your playlist, I may discover a video that you've made about me in the negative. Oh, I need to bring my other downstairs. It's got my notebook. That used to happen to me. What used to happen? Oh, yeah, that happens to me occasionally. Somebody will put out like earlier in this season. So I'm gonna say in this last quarter. So the last 3 months. In the last 3 months, I believe a video was put out. Okay. Um, so I believe somebody put out a video that featured a rap song that I knew nothing about. So having not seen this rap song 3 years ago, I honestly thought it was a new rap song. So when we commented it when we commented on it, we was as if it was real time. It was as if it was real time, and it was kind of goofy. And then only to find out that from the creator of the video, hey Satsuma, that this video was from years ago, and it was the first time I got wind of it. So yesterday, somebody played a video of John Frank where he made a negative video about me. And he said not so nice things about me. So the question is, why? Is that to help me understand that he has his own opinion and that he doesn't like me for some reason? Make me feel a different kind of way towards him? Or does it say something about you, the person putting that out at that moment? Let me tell you what it says. Let me let you in on a secret. It says that you, my dear, are reaching. If you know that I am around somebody that dislikes me, profoundly dislikes me, as in that video, you should laugh it up because you're on the other side of my angst. So you shouldn't be trying to show me that the person, good morning, Beach, that the person I'm rocking with doesn't like me, is a hypocrite. You shouldn't want me to know that. You should want me to still feel like, it's heaven. Or was it because in the statement that he made yesterday, he said, Mo, you told me only you, being him, can damage the relationship. I got to judge him by his deeds against me. And I'll say yes. And I'm going to say that across the board. In any relationship I am in, I try to judge the person. I take into consideration, and they use this word, under advisement, your past deeds. And then I approach the person on the relationship that I make with the person. So let me tell you some things that I've observed about people who don't like me, right? Or are angry with me. Because I think it's more or less, it's not that you don't like me, it's that you are angry with me. So I'm just talking in general, things that I'm seeing, nobody in particular. If the shoe fits, wear it. If the shoe fits, then it's you. And if you don't like the way I portray your character in my story, change the way your character approaches me, and I may change the way I speak on your character. Okay, so pointing this out at that time makes it appear that you want me to see something that I cannot see. Pointing out to me that because Karen has been in my room, it changed the whole dynamics of my chat. Why are you concerned with what's going on with my chat over here? Oh, girl did things to you. Listen. Oh, girl did something to me. Every last one of you women that I have embraced openly have done something in the negative to me since I've been here. Some have been more public than others. Some we've talked it out behind the scenes, and we're good friends because of it. Well, look at your chat. They're all gone. They're all gone because they don't like Karen, so they're all gone. I don't know how to answer that. I don't have people attached to me to that degree. All your day ones are gone. That's for the day ones to hear and the day ones to figure that out. That's not for me. I've asked everybody to respect each other. And if folks can't respect each other, what can I do about that? But my relationships with everybody is independent of the next person. It's not contingent on the other person. So I'm not going to sit here and give explanations for anybody you may or may not see, because I'm good and they're great. Imagine me saying that. I'm good, and the people around me that have supported me from day one, they're great. They're great. This last 2 quarters of the year, right? This for me has been a difficult year. But y'all never understand it because I couldn't be who I wanted to be. I had to draw down. I didn't hide my pain. And come up here and drink profusely on a channel and make myself look like an idiot because I'm self-hurt. As many of you women do today when y'all come on this platform. You have no idea how pathetic and low frequency you come across as until you really sit here and look at y'all openly shed your pain. No one sees strength in y'all. You're giving people a bird's eye view into everything that is toxic to you. You think people are celebrating your triumphs here? No, they're waiting for the next moment you collapse. I didn't give them moments to see me collapse. I tried to convey the better side of me because I know that there's somebody out here who wants the better side of me when we say we do things for entertainment. Saw an interesting movie this weekend. Don't worry about me. Worry about the channel holder. Block me and still come through. I'm not, Karen, to go on that statement that you made, I'm not saying that there's truth in their observation. I'm not saying that. Nobody who was a day one of Mo's reached out to me and said to me that they had, no, I'm not going to say that people don't have issues with Karen. They got issues with Karen. But nobody said to me, it's either Karen or me, Monica. No one's made that because at the end of the day, I still go in everybody's chats. When I catch it and I go in and I support because that's just who I am and how I feel about the channel or the subscribers. This goes down to wrench therapy here. I had wrenches. I made moderators, not wrenches, because I made moderators for a purpose when something happened. When some other things happened here, I decided to take away the moderator tool from some people so they would not be identified and put in other people's videos. The first thing you see, and this is what I saw yesterday on John Frank's panel, some women came up there that are controversial for whatever reason. They're controversial to some other women. And the first thing other women did was say, let me go and see which Black women are over there in his chat supporting that bullshit. Let me see who they are. And they started to call out the people's names that is in the chat room. And I feel like that's an abundance of it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. It's just that it's unnecessary because you're taking on a target that you did not have in your radar. The people in the chat become ancillary to the cause. They become collateral damage to the issue. And I'm going to say this video is based on my experience here on the YouTube. So if anybody wants to make a video to critique it, right? Learn this part of your critique abilities, especially when you're in a therapeutic setting. You can't dissect my experience because it's mine. You can't tell me how I should live this because it's my experience to be lived. Now, what you can do is tell me if some of those relationships within my experience are not healthy and what I could do to get out of it. But since some of you who provide therapeutic support around here do not provide it from a level of trying to help a person out of despair. All you do is coddle a person and keep them in the despair. You don't do anything to uplift and move on. You do everything to keep people captive in that trap. I'm going to read your long statement, Karen. Let me get it to my head to read it. No one gave me an ultimatum. That's what I said. No one gave no ultimatums here. And no one would have given me an ultimatum about who's in my chat. Because all that matters when people come in my chat is that you're here and I'm interacting with you. And if people in the chat had kept to my golden rules and commented only on the stuff I was talking about, there would not be no friction in the chat ever. It's when people go and have sidebar conversations within the chat that the chat becomes a problem. And only people that are causing problems would worry about what's going on in Monica's life. See, one thing you're not going to see me do, you're not going to see me watching you folks that I say I don't watch. You're not going to see me do that. So when y'all had a series of videos against me, about me, for me, to me, titled about me and stuff, I didn't care. I said, okay, they're promoting me again. How do you feel about being promoted? And I shrugged it off, right? Because any advertisement you give me on your channel for free, I say thank you very much. And I accept the new viewers and I accept the new subscribers because I didn't do anything to get new subscribers. You did all the work for me. So again, I thank you for your efforts. And that's it. Maybe I should have said it more publicly then, but I'm saying it now. When you make videos about me, you keep me you keep me in everybody's mouth. And I appreciate that. And thank you very much. Your positive videos or your negative videos, you keep me alive. And I appreciate that. As for you, I don't know what else to say. It's pathetic what I see out here. Now on Thanksgiving, let me see. All I can say is I'm my own boss when it comes to YouTube and any other platform. Some people do. I've heard it throughout my duration of being on this thing. Tearing this, tearing that. so they can speak on such matters in a negative way. Okay, some people have been here for a long period of time and they're still trying to get to 1,000, and they will use any person by any means necessary to get to the 1,000. So to close out the conversation that was about who is in my chat and who's not in my chat because somebody else's presence, because that's what was spoken. All I'm here to say, don't worry about my chat. Worry about your own chat. Think about your chat. Don't worry about Monica's chat. Worry about, or Momomo's chat. Worry about what's going on in your chat. Worry about what's going on in your environment. Don't worry about what's going on in my environment unless you see how you are impacting me over here. So that's it on chat disturbances and who's still in the chat, who's not in the chat. I really don't care one way or the other. I thought it was my obligation and an abundance of caution for the people that rocked with me. I took away those moderator status. So the same way you are now reporting that they don't fuck with me no more, that's a good thing, because you know what you're not doing. You're not assassinating them. You're not attacking them. You're not doing anything to them. And I would prefer you to make a video about them no longer being around me and think that that's a win in the separation game, opposed to you making videos about the people that support me the most. Who the hell do you think are the 20 people that's up in my room right now? Oh, just saying. Just saying. Moving on. Good morning, Gleb. I see you in there. And let me see what Beach had to say. YouTube is cult-like, right? But everything here is not a cult. And I was trying to make that point yesterday as well. But let me tell y'all about the movie I watched, because it really had an impact on me. And I saw it on Thanksgiving evening with my sister, who was here celebrating Thanksgiving with me, for what it's worth. And we watched, what's the name of the movie? Because I told Karen about it yesterday. Well, actually, Karen told me she was watching it. And I was like, girl, go back and watch that. That shit was hot. I don't be part of channel holders to attack their chat. I listen to the channel holders. They should try it. Good morning, Hailey. True. The name of the movie is a Netflix movie. It's True something. True. It's True something. What's that guy's name? It has Wesley Snipes in it. All right, it's called True Story. And it's got Kevin Hart, and I will tell you, it had twists and twerk. So if you know me, there's gory beating inside movies do not do me well. So I was walking around and doing all those kind of stuff, but I got to see the whole series, boop, 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 one after the other. Very good. I'm watching that now, laugh out loud. Yes. Yo, so girl, why are you always slow on the blow? Anywho, so during what is considered Thanksgiving, and a lot of people don't celebrate Thanksgiving because they think it's a season when this America has stole the land from somebody and they want to celebrate it. It is the only season, it's the only holiday that I've celebrated as a kid into my adulthood. It's the only one that I find to have meaning because it doesn't really have a lot of commercialism with it. It just has the overwhelming theme is being with family. So on Thanksgiving Day, when John Frank went live, I stopped what I was doing with my family to put it on the big top and sit down there and awe at it because I could not believe that people didn't have family to engage with, that they would come on this YouTube and rather than showing you like whatever they're doing for Thanksgiving, that somebody was that annoying to somebody else, that somebody else had to come up and strike up a lot. I just couldn't fucking believe it. And it reminded me about, or it furthered my understanding of the new campaigns that were out here, Rich Life, right? The Rich Life, hashtag Rich Life. Shout out to those people that are repping the hashtag Rich Life, right? When we're talking about fundamental shit, being part of family, giving thanks, being thankful for something. Hard season for me to deal with this year. And I really just wanted to do it without having the fluff. So I definitely wasn't going to do YouTube. But when I saw that shit unfold, I had no other choice but to watch it because I was saying to myself, why would John be so bothered on Thanksgiving Day? Right? A day when people should be spending it with family. And that's when I just realized that some people are just too miserable. And we all been saying it. That's why they find themselves on the internet, because in their real lives, they cannot deal with the day-to-day, the mundane stuff of their life. It's too much for them. And this is another instance of it. So yeah, I went on my community wall and I posted his video. And I have really no regrets about that either. Let me just come over here because I wanted to go right to it. And I said, when most folks are spending time with loved ones and eating plentiful, right? Because I'm assuming that you're spending your time with your loved ones. I'm not saying that it had to be family, but people that you love. I found that to be key because that's what I was pointing out. Some people on this internet, they don't have real families. They've made this YouTube their family. They've made loved ones out of the people that they engage with here. And to that end, I guess it would be hard to have Thanksgiving come around and you not be able to engage with those people that you love the most. You've been around these people for 4 years. It's toxic relationships for most of us who look in and see these relationships. But to those people, those are the people they love. And they wanted to spend a holiday called Thanksgiving around people that disrespect them and have, what did I say? What did I call it when I was talking about the low energy woman, a low valued woman? She thrives for the disrespect. She needs the people. She needs that disrespect. What I said, she marinates in disrespect. So why would I think differently for an occasion called Thanksgiving, to think that people who have nobody that really cares the fuck about them in their real life, engaging with them? Of course they needed to come to the internet. So I said, there is a woman making videos insulting others. Hashtag no life. And I stand on that to this day. And I don't give a fuck how many videos a person makes over there about me or has anything to say about me on a subject. that's what your message conveyed when we see you come out here on that occasion. And then to have your son join in on the whole thing and to be highlighting Monica this, Monica that. You're highlighting me, lady, because you were miserable. You didn't need the internet on that day in that way unless you was missing something. I don't know if you needed extra entertainment. I wish I could have just came out and said, everybody go watch this movie, True Story. It gave y'all something to do, to engage in, opposed to. So I guess it opposed to wanting to be part of the YouTube ships. Now, another thing, I gotta just segue a moment. And this is a disclaimer. Monica Mo Justice, based on her experience on the internet, has developed her own dictionary of words. You don't like my dictionary, or you feel like it represents some other words in the real world that you live in, has some other meanings. This is what the words mean to me. And if you're following along in my fictitious world that's here on the YouTube, you will become familiar with my terminology. And either you adapt it or you just move on from it. But the fact that some of you know it so intricately, it just says more about you not being to disconnect from me. Damn shame, damn shame, damn shame. And it is surprising to me when I check in occasionally and I see where you are in your idolization of me. The one thing I didn't want happening was people idolizing me. But no matter how much I try to prevent that spirit from taking over, it still takes over. So at the end of the day, I was only in John's chat that day, and I basically just was enamored by the situation, and new developments came out. I did not. So in the Kanika Jenkins phase of YouTube for me, I met two groups of people that were interested in following the Kanika case, because I heard somebody represent this. And I want to clarify things because, again, this is Monica's terminology that has been taken out of its context. Okay, so on the YouTube, I started looking at y'all wording. I started looking at what y'all was saying on the YouTube, but it's just more of my words. It's more of my terms that are misunderstood around here that I don't got really time for. But one of them is channel trafficking. So fast forward to yesterday, John Frank goes live again, and I joined John Frank's panel. One, because I was laying down with a headache, and I'm gonna tell you right now, being on his panel made the headache worse because, of course, my creator, he has an amazing way of giving me some business. And there it was, the echo. And I'm like, oh, this shit is echoing. John, this thing is echoing, right? So I had to really cringe in order to speak because I knew that I was going to be in the echo phase. And then here comes fucking Coleman in the chat. Mo, you're echoing. Thank you very much, lady. So anywho, I'm listening to his video. I go up there. He says something that I disagree with. So I have to be firm and be like, I'm on this panel, but I'm gonna have to say I respectfully disagree and state my reasons why I disagree. It's not out of abundance of love for anybody. It's just me living in my truth. Okay. Um, but I have given some thought to some things that I said, and and he made some strong arguments about some things that I said as well. And I wasn't there, so I don't know. But I listened to um the other woman's video, and I listened to her say, "Well, I was on the phone with Monica when when this stuff was going down." So I just want to clarify something because I think it came out later on in the video. I was not on the phone when it was going down. I joined, I saw on a channel that they were talking about a woman meeting up with another YouTuber in Las Vegas during one of the Donald Trump rallies. And I contacted her because I was like, I cannot believe you did this. And I do not believe that it was the best of moments. And that's what I basically said yesterday on John's platform. I don't think it was one of her best moments. But it is what she did, right? And you got to live with what you did. And I was scared for her and her alone. Period. Because that could have ended any kind of way, any kind of how on here. Right? It's nothing to be hot damn, I did that, in my opinion. But I'm not the person living that nightmare. I don't know what these people did to one another to make people go over the top. I know what I was going to say. And these people came from two groups that was here in the Kanika case. And I refer to one group as being the people that were looking at the investigative aspects of the Kanika case, which really didn't become a case because the police department closed it. They said there was no homicide there. Method of death was not a homicide. Now, you've been watching my channel long enough to know that when they rule a person's death a homicide, we take a little bit of a thing and say we want to follow that case through, right? When the method of death is homicide. And then, and I'm going to go into another video when we talk about that homicide connotation, because I think people are having problems discerning Kyle Rittenhouse situation of him being found not guilty, but they don't know whether to call him a murderer or not. And he just, the bottom line is, because they said he's been acquitted. So I have deference with that. Maybe I'll just go into it now. This is sidebar. I have deference with that, opposed to Ahmaud Arbery's killers, and they're being, because they were convicted. No matter what, Kyle Rittenhouse still killed people. So he can always be classified as a killer. The problem with that is not that the acquittal doesn't make him innocent of killing the people. It just says that he was justified in killing them. And you don't hear people say that so unless you're listening to the other side of the coin. You're going into the chat rooms or you're going into the spaces where the conversation is about the right to bear arms and the right to self-defense. And I'm going to tell you, his case is monumental because right now New York State is sitting there at the Supreme Court with the whole gun control thing because in New York State, we as citizens cannot have a gun. And I am one of those people that now feel we should have guns. And where I've lived in this state all my life, and I've endured that we didn't need them, and that they was just a basic part of life. No, hell to the no. We need them. We need them. We need to be like every place else where people are just shooting and killing people, because you need to be able to defend yourself. And basically, that's what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse. You need to be able to defend yourself, is what he said. Each one of those men had a right to defend themselves. That's what that case represents, self-defense. And in any given moment, once you feel threatened, you have a right to kill the person. The reason why that didn't work for the Ahmaud Arbery people is because they were the aggressors in the situation. In that case with Rittenhouse, the prosecutor would have had to prove that Rittenhouse was the aggressor. He did not get the evidence. They were not allowed to present evidence that would lead you to believe that he was aggressor. He was the aggressor. You have people very much upset because they were saying, but they made the victims out to be the aggressors in his case. And but people do the common conversation here of just regurgitating what other people say instead of formulating a clear and crisp argument to something. They keep saying, well, the judge wouldn't allow them to call them victims. And I'm like, okay, you got to expand on that for yourself. See how I just expanded on it? Everyone had a right to self-defense. Anyway, you got to be able to explain that. And most of the time, we don't know how to explain how we feel. Moving on, or moving backwards. I was watching a movie, and there are points in the movie when I just had to reflect on why we do the things we do. What are we willing to do in order? And the movie, again, is true story. What are we willing to do to have friendships, to have people in our life? The main character, which is the comedian, right? The main character there, he has a loyalty to his brother. And in the last chapter of their stories, because it has seven episodes. The last episode was Cain and Abel. That's what they, and everybody knows what happened to Cain and Abel in the Bible. And if you don't know, go watch it. So this is their Cain and Abel. Am I my brother's keeper, basically? I found it ironic to have Wesley Snipes in this type of movie, especially after he came from the movie New Jack City and he did all the stuff that he did in New Jack City. And to see him at this, I guess, end of life phase right here was kind of weird to me. And the undertones and the storyline was very punishing and damaging to his whole, like, I watched Wesley Snipes throughout this whole movie feeling like he had ended his career. We looked at how his face looked and his being withdrawn, and I tried to make excuses for Wesley Snipes and said, all right, this guy right here, he has been in jail for the tax evasion. It looks like he's been wiped out, and that's what he looked like in the movie. I don't know if it's good acting or whatever. His skin looked harsh to me. Everything about him just looked so beat up. I started thinking about all the conspiracies that you guys talk about on these social platforms about the Illuminati and stuff, and it just had me wondering there for a moment, when does one career end? When does one pathway go? So these are things I'm thinking about as I'm watching a movie that's about making bad choices in life, and how one decision has a terrible, it just has an effect that can just go out of control. And then having one rule, one thing reigns supreme, is that All of these things occurred because one man did not want to give up $6 billion. He was like, hell to the no, I'm not paying somebody that kind of money. Was it six billion? It was 6 billion. No, I'm not giving somebody $6 billion for in a whole year. Like, I'm not gonna do that. So I rather kill you, hide your body, get caught hiding it, try to make friends with the person that caught me hiding it, only for him to get murdered, and then at the end of the day, for him to be murdered, protect me while he's being murdered, all because in the entertainment world, that man, and that's the character I want to focus on, that man loved his entertainment, what the comedian brought to the table for him. And he broke it down. He said, listen, that man came in my life when my sister was fighting cancer. She watched him every day for inspiration or funniness or whatever, right? Then when my sister died, I clung to him for my life. Like, he brought something to the table. I'm here on the YouTube. And no matter how much I keep trying to hide from it, I don't know what my impact is on other people. But I do recall that when I first got here, there were expectations on what my content was supposed to be about and how it was supposed to be inspiring to other women. And then I speak to some women and they tell me about how they still see me in that same light, that I still do their content that makes them think, that puts their minds like, why is it? I've spoken to people recently who reminded me of what Monica brought to their lives, right? And I had that conversation with tears, right? Because the person reminded me about a time when I was brutally honest with her about the direction she was going in. And she says to me, words to this effect recently, I thank you for that. Basically, she's like, I wouldn't be where I am right now if you wasn't one of the voices that was encouraging me, that was supporting me, that was helping me at that time. Now, I didn't do everything to where she is at today, but it was one of those first voices in her head saying, "Boo." And I thought about it and I was like, damn, I miss her, right? She's no longer in my chat. I don't see people looking for her inside the chat, making a big deal where she's at. Occasionally people ask me how she's doing, what happened to her. But I don't see people looking for people like that. But those are my day ones. Still speak to them to this day. Still got my day ones, right? So it's like people support people in the way that you need to be supported. So I'm gonna say this. I looked at yesterday's video from another content creator that does promotion for me, unknowingly does promotion for me. And I looked at it from the perspective of it's not gonna get any better. It's just not gonna get any better. Some of these hurts that you folks keep talking about and drilling down on, there comes a point in time when you're just going to have to walk away from it. You're just going to have to walk away from it. And that's what it's coming down to for all of us. There comes a point when you're going to have to look at the toxic relationships, right? No matter how much you cared about the people that were around you. In the start of these channels, you're going to have to look at those relationships and say, do they add value to my life now? Did they serve a purpose then? And can I just move on? If someone added value to your life once upon a time, right? Once upon a crime, that's that season. That was the season. That was when they were supposed to have that impact on you. Even some of this negativity that we see is a moment of reflection. In a moment of reflection, you can say, oh, shucks, this was supposed to happen. This was the season for that, to show me why I need to move on, why I need to move forward. I'm not going to tell anybody in this day and age if you should keep toxic relationships or if you shouldn't. I'm not telling folks that you should accept apologies where you continue to engage with the person, or accept an apology and continue to move forward where you are at without the person. Those are decisions that you have to make for your own benefit. But when you are looking at folks who are living the hashtag rich life, what they are saying in essence is I'm enjoying where I am at right now in my life. It feels good. I feel good. Remember? I got to talk about that verses. But it feels good all over. That's why you see so many people running around here. Hashtag rich life. They are living at their optimal. Some people have been through some tragic shit on here, and they are happy to be engaging with the folks that they're happy with. Some people are putting together their wish list and they got them there, and other people are happy to fulfill somebody's wishes. And all I keep hearing is the good things that folks are living. And then there is a little smidgen of the people who are not part of that movement, but you seem to be disenchanted by it. And it makes you look like you have no life. And I'm not sure that that's what you want to convey. I'm sure you're waiting for when the ball is going to drop over here and those people are going to be fighting with each other. But then when you look around, those people are happy with one another. They're elated. You, believe it or not, you are the one looking disheveled. You're looking, you're coming across as being envious, and y'all clustered together, and you're looking miserable, like you have no life. Ergo, you arrive on the scene on Thanksgiving Day, when the people who are living the rich life are doing just that. They're in their families, they're cooking, they're eating, they're sending. I got this Thanksgiving alone. Shout out to all the channel holders up here. And this is from my heart to your heart. Thank you guys who wrote me, checked in on me just to see how I was doing. I truly appreciate that. No petty moments here, but I got more outreach this year than ever before, being here on the YouTube. And I was like, oh shit, why is this person writing me, wishing me a happy Thanksgiving and all the best and so on and so forth? And I'm saying to myself, rich life. When you are happy in your life, right? You're happy in what you're doing. You tend to want to share that. And you want the people around you to be happy as well, or at least not to be as miserable as they are. Even if you can take somebody out of a moment of misery. In the movie True Story, he takes the guy, right? He takes the guy to make it just like a day with this guy. And it's supposed to be like one of this fabulous days. Who's to know this is going to be this man's last day on this earth? There were people here in the internet that made this feel like this is not my last Thanksgiving, but how you doing, Mo? Hope all is well with you. Hey, Raining Woman. I heard the term YouTube shuffle applied to this community made sense. I have no idea. Um, I I will feel the way I feel about the community as a whole, the Kanika community having two components, being the people that follow the investigation and the people that um, follow the ad the activists. Because I heard somebody say it kind of differently, but um, so I just want to be clear that the Kanika community had two different lanes, because I think people understand lanes. They had one lane that was dealing with the investigation and wanting for an arrest, or wanting to find out what happened to her. And then there was the other aspect, which was the activists. These were the people who wanted to demand justice and have arrests made or force the department to do an investigation. Now, both lanes may have met, came to a fork in the road at some point, because their overall goal was justice for Kanika, which they never could achieve. And when they could not, think of the Tower of Babylon inside the Bible, right? Imagine all of these people in the Bible, biblical. They were building this tower to reach God. I don't know what they thought they was going to do when they reached God. And what did he do? He struck them with lightning, right? And all the people scattered, right, as they was building this big tower. And they started speaking a different language. So guess what happened here in the Kanika lane? When the two worlds came together, the two lanes met, something happened and they scattered around and they started to fight with one another. And each other, they began to kill their own. Okay, I don't know. I heard references made yesterday. Where's John Frank's people? What happened to Gears? What happened to this person? What happened to that person? I don't see them in the person's chat. Why are you worried about what's going on in another man's life if your life was good? You would not be concerned what's going on in another man's life. That's it. That's everything. Worry about yourself. Because right now, some of y'all self-image looks fucked up. Drinking and YouTubing should not go together in the same sense. Motherfuckers around here have a hangover before the live is done. Like, you're like looking at people in hangover mode throughout this. Oh God, when the brother gave him that watch, that was one of the moments when I was just like, oh man, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I honestly thought, Beach, I honestly thought the brother was going to kill him. I would have preferred him do it, but he, like, his whole way of thinking, like, at the point, I wish that everybody involved in this thing from last night would go and watch that movie, because if you watch that movie, honestly, you might take away something out of it when it comes down to relationships. Drinking, drugging, and YouTubing. they don't go well together. They really don't. And the image, right, is bad. But I will agree. I will agree. I think that some people have perfected their niche on here, and they're getting better at the shit they're doing. And I'm just watching it and I'm saying to myself, I don't want to have a part of no parts of it whatsoever. None whatsoever. Um, I'm happy where I'm at. Now, the effect of the video that John Frank made about me that was so negative, right? This is what I have to say about that video. One, I still haven't seen it, so if anybody wants to send me the video in its entirety, please feel free to do so I could see it, and then I could be like, I could give it some more thought. But what is the context behind it? When was that video made? Was it made in 2021? Was it made in 2020, 2019? What season was it made in? And last but not least, John Frank is entitled to his own opinion about Mo Momo. People's opinions change, and they should, based on the information that they've been provided. So if at one point in time a man hated me, disliked me, thought the worst of me, and at this point in time is willing to coexist with me and have respect, mutual respect, I'll take that over any period of time. If other people, this is where the envy comes in. And hear me out completely. Don't be mad because other folks have settled their skirmishes with others. Try to settle your own skirmishes. Nugget! Try to settle your own skirmishes. Don't worry about another person's skirmish. Worry about your own. Every channel holder is not going to like me. That's a given. Everyone's not going to like me. Instead of worrying about how that person and I have a good relationship, worry about your own relationship with or without me. I'm good either way. A lot of this drama that went on around here, I really didn't need. That's point blank, and that's it. I'm very happy, extremely happy right now with everything that's going on in my life, my personal life, my YouTube life, my work life. Every aspect of my life is going in the right direction for me. I'm balancing it better. When I need some YouTube, I YouTube. When I don't need the YouTube, I don't need the YouTube. I could definitely have came out here and gave y'all some conversation on the verdict in the Ahmaud Arbery, and I will, but I didn't feel I needed to come out and do it the day of the verdict, right? Didn't feel like the right energy for it. I'm doing things at my pace, and I'm happy. People don't have to like you. You really don't have to like me. You really don't have to like me. But I am one about disrespect. And the disrespect on here, on this YouTube, is enormous. And it's something that is so, it's impossible to reach out and touch somebody, or it's impossible to have authorities reach out and touch people to cut down on the disrespect. So what, it's beyond my control. So the one thing in life that in my real life, well, in my personal life, I don't really take heed to the disrespect. I've had to blatantly just ignore it here on the YouTube. When people disrespect you, I just have to be like, oh, okay, that's just part of the YouTube environment. That's what they do, because they cannot do anything to you in real time or to you personally. So this is as far as their reach is whatever they can do behind the YouTube landscape. So I just have to live with that. So if the men disrespect me, I have to look at it as that's just their petty moment, because they couldn't get a real woman like me in to even pay them any attention. So if they can get a moment of most time on the YouTube and try to deal with that, I'm the best cup of Joe they have for the day. So I just look at it from the perspective of it is um, a fundamental characteristic of being in the social media space, knowing the limits there, what people can and do get away with. And they don't have to always agree with you. No, they really don't have to always. You should not. You should be, we're going to go into self-thinker. You should be an independent thinker. And now I'll have people shouting that out all day long. I'm an independent thinker. Does anybody know Wolf in Beta clothes? Does anybody claim that person? Oh, that's a pretty bit pretty picture of her. Hmm. Um YouTube studio. Yes, I said claim. We don't really have, because people are watching my chat, Wolf and Beta clothes. People watching my chat, so uh they know like who the day one, where people come from, who people are. So that's why I asked, does anybody claim you? So I'll wait. I got time today. Even though I really don't, because I want to go get my nails done. Oh, 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 oh. Look, Raining Woman, she's like, Wolf is from my channel. Okay, that's why I asked Claim. So what happens around this person is like, motherfuckers around here. It's a weird world we live in on the internet. I know you shared the video out, Raining Woman. Yeah. Yeah. So what happens is sometimes some stuff is going on around here. Wolf and Beta clothes. Just so you know. And the environment is hostile. And new people to the environment makes for a tense experience. So I was asking who you are and what set you claim so I could understand how to engage. But welcome. But it just reminded me of some things. In any event, good movie, good time to watch it. I encourage everybody to go watch True Story. Because the honesty of it is that it could be anybody's, not what happened, right? And specifically, like, you're not gonna kill somebody or somebody's not gonna wake up dead inside your hotel room with you, right? But it really, if you zero in on things, decisions that you make in life that spiral out of control. It's like one bad decision after another leads to another bad decision, leads to another bad decision. And at the end of the day, Kevin Hart, the one thing he didn't want to do was give up $6 billion, but he had to give up $6 billion for something that he would he had to give up $6 billion for something that he was willing to give up $6 billion for. So imagine, just like, I'd rather give $6 million to this person that got my back no matter fucking what, than give $6 billion to somebody just because they are blood. On this YouTube, I'd rather not engage with people that don't have my well-being at heart. Some of you, I know that you think that you do, and you feel like you're sending me subliminal messages, right? But all of those messages are doing, all that messaging. Was it 6 million? Hold up. That's easy to, I thought it comes to billions. Cause let me just see. If you do 500,000 12 times. Oh, it's 6 million. Oh, okay. I had to do the math on that, you know. He didn't want to give that motherfucker $6 million. Like, no, I'm not giving you $6 million. Yeah, see, I have to, everything is like visual with numbers and stuff. So he didn't want to give him $6 million. So he'd rather give somebody who's going to be rocking with him $6 million. All right, so long. Crazy. Yeah, that's about it. WARship today, I tried to pay a lot of attention to the chat because, you know, WARship is when I really look at the chat comments and work on the chat comments. But I think that some people have internalized that WARship is when I talk about other channels, other people, like I'm at war. The only war I was at in WARship was with the chat, because if you remember, the initial premise of WARship was that I don't pay much attention to the chat and I miss some of their talking points. So I gave Sunday worship day, which I don't believe is worship because I believe that Sabbath is on Friday to Saturday. Um, and this would be Sabbath right now. But in any event, I don't know. Jola, I have no idea what you're talking about. I have every idea, but I have no idea. Um, I, if you lose yourself to the bottle, this is what happens. But it also is what happens when you lose your friends. Um, when you've made folks the center of your universe. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. Um, it is what it is. Um, I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow. I have off this week from work, and I'm just gonna I will, Rain and Woman. Thank you for sharing the video and sharing your folks with me. um I'm just gonna leave it like that. Anything else before I go? Oh, well, damn, Glib. I think you gotta do something with your thing, cause I swear I saw Rain and Woman, and now I see you, and it's in a different order. I've been quietly listening, taking notes. I'm getting my notes together for season 8 when we become enemies. Well, first, Glib, you know what we gotta do first? First, we gotta do the big collaboration, right? And we gotta have our timeout, flag on play. So this is what we gotta do, Glib, right? First, we gotta have our big collaboration where you and I are co-hosting a show together. And we're just co-hosting, right? So it's nobody's show. So we need to make a show that's just us. Yeah. First, we got to make a show that's just us, right? Like make a whole new channel and it just be you and I talking about stuff, right? And you'll be in your basement and I'll be in my basement, right? And then we'll do it at the wee hours of the nighttime when we done tuck the kids inside the beds and everything. Well, actually, maybe I don't know, because now we probably don't have to do it so late in the nighttime. And then you bring your spirits, and I bring my spirits, and we sit here and we talk it out while we get to know the chat. And then after we get to know the chat, I get so personal with the chat that it starts to interfere with the production of the our award-winning show, right? Of our award-winning show. And then you, Glib, you try to take on one of the members of the chat who is attacking me. And you go ahead and you try to prevent that chat member, that chatter, from attacking me. And then I get so upset with you because you are spending time. Yo, Jola, you need to press the thing. Let me just, Jola, you need to refresh. Jola, you're stuck in time. Anyway, we have a wonderful show glad together, and we let the chat kill us in our endeavor. Is that what you predict will happen in season 8? It it is an original. It's the story of somebody's life who may or may not have had it in cyberspace. It could very well be somebody's story. It's just not you and I's story, but it could be somebody's story out here. And all of those events could have been different if one had just made different choices. That's what that movie True Story was about. It's about the choices you make and how one bad choice can lead to other bad choices. When the root of your problem is, I just don't want to pay $6 million to somebody for something, when you could have just simply paid $6 million. And then the chatter goes straight. And then the chatter strikes up a live in their channel to run to another channel and say that you're tripping. Raining woman. I would think that, you know what, Raining? You probably seen this story before because you've been around for a couple of seasons. You know what I think is the most, and I'm gonna say this, right? One of the things that bothers me the most about all the stuff that happens around here, right, is recently we had a YouTuber pass away, right? Darren Marion passed away. And it bothers me when I know that his last communication to me was about somebody else. That bothers me because all I could do is write Darren and say, I'm sorry you had to experience that. That's it. That's all I could do. That's all I could do was say to him, I'm sorry you had to experience that. That's about it. And I was sorry that he had to experience that. It bothered me. It bothered me wholeheartedly. And it bothered me when he came in that morning in the chat and he said to me, I didn't realize that you and old girl had problems. Like I didn't realize that. And I was like, yeah, I know. I know. It's just that I meant to replay the video where he did on when he came on my live and we did a collaboration together. And I've tried to keep very low key about how I was feeling about it because the conversation before then all was around Alan Walker's passing. So it's like I honestly spoke to him about relationships that were no more in the past 6 months. And who would have ever known that he would be not amongst us? But that is how life is. And when you're here on this YouTube, you got folks that you've met on cyberspace, that you met within this realm, who are having this big impact on you for no apparent good reason. So I'm disappointed in a lot of things. Disappointed in a lot of people. And that's it. Like, it's just unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, you would think that we would get to the season of Thanksgiving, right? We would be in the season of Thanksgiving. And in that season, we would be thankful for the relationships we do have, the people that are around us now that love us, the relationships that we're no longer with. You would be thankful for those relationships as well, because sometimes breakups are the best thing that can happen to you. And you could be happy to no longer be in that relationship because that was dead weight holding you back, holding you down. But not here, not here, not amongst these people, not amongst some of these people. Some of it's insanity. And you know what they say about insanity? Insanity is doing the same thing over again and expecting a different outcome. So sometimes when you really sever a relationship with somebody, it's a good thing. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. And you don't have to revisit it. It's not the thing that you have to revisit. You could be happy not being with somebody that's not for you. A lot of people end up, especially women, end up dead because they're in relationships that they should no longer be in. And they don't know how to let it go, or the other person won't allow them to go. And that's how you end up with a dead bitch on the scene, basically. Mo. Oh, you come in here talking about some happy holidays and happy Saturday. Yeah, we talking about petty pain and suffering today. And it normally equates to hashtag no life. I'm thankful for the fact that I have accepted the insanity of this place. At least I know how I should react or act. I think you have a I think you could have just put re/act. But I think that you have a way of reacting that has caused consequences that some people don't want. But I also believe that there are, sometimes we can't see something. This is what I'm gonna say. I believe that there are people out here that truly have love for me in their heart. And I respect that. I respect that, right? And I believe that when some situations spiral out of one's control and they don't know how to rein it back in, right? You find yourself caught up in all the stuff that happened. And there's no way back from it. But you try to send out, when you can't have a verbal one-on-one with somebody, you try to send out smoke, you try to send out signals to let the person know that, yo, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good. Because you still care. Let me tell y'all right now, Mo, the one thing I'm good at is not giving a fuck after the fact. That is one thing I'm good at. If I say fuck you for life, I mean that. There's no coming back from that. It's not part of my DNA. It's not part of my DNA. It's just not. And that's it. Well, I'm gonna keep trying to be what did you say it was, Serena Woman? Let me go back to one of your comments. You said, Mo, keep trying to do you were so happy. I'm bringing back happy vibes. No, I'm still happy. To be quite honest, I'm still happy because at the end of the day, I cannot allow the stuff that happens in this from this YouTube experience to dominate how I act, or how, in the words of Glib, how I act or react to things. This is an anomaly when it comes down to what could be going on. And I know the ways to fix the problem. I have to do it alone to fix the problem here. And that does not mean apologizing to anybody. It does not mean making lives about people. It does not, and it does not endure all of that. It's simple. Keep living my best life. Because the people with hashtag no life are still looking at the best that I have to offer and wish that they was a part of it. And at this juncture, the season is over for whatever was going on before. That season has ended, and this is the season, and this is the harvest that I'm in currently. And that's it. I have to be in control of that. Not anybody, not anybody else, not anywhere else, not anything else. And that's it. Yeah, there's one person on here for sure that I do not wish well. Raining Woman is like, so it's F her all day, every day, because she likes to poke the bear. Okay. Here's the thing for me, right? I want y'all to bear with me because this is going to be a hard concept for a lot of people, right? In order to get to that level of understanding, you hear people say, well, I had to love you to hate you. And I'm like, where did they get this shit from? Where's this shit coming from? Like, who thought of this? Who made this up? No, that I don't agree. I don't agree with this. Everything has its season. What do we need to go biblical? How does somebody get charged with 1,200 counts of what? Oh, they could keep him. Oh, that's too much for me. Yeah, 1,000. That's crazy. Oh, let me just do the American Standard Version. For everything, there is a season and a time. For every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love, oops, and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. And you know, if you're an avid watcher of Mo, you know what I say. If you fail to come in peace, you might leave in pieces. So everything has its season. That's basically it. And some of these relationships, they have their season, and that's all it is. Just it's just that. Right, because you need a degree in psychology to understand. To understand what? I think right now we got enough urban therapists running around here. We got the Puerto Rican therapist, we got the ghetto therapist. What was the other therapist? We got all kinds of therapists over here running around here. But I still encourage people, if you got insurance, to go and get you a real therapist. You need a degree in psychology to understand. A degree in psychology to understand what? I don't need no degree. When somebody's wronged me or the relationship is not a healthy relationship for me to be involved in, I can get away from it. I guess I'll have to give y'all my video on when I dump people, purging relationships. I have no problem purging a relationship. Some are a little bit harder to purge than others. In my personal life, I have the same principles when it comes down to relationships and when it's time to purge people and to get rid of people. There are some people I don't want to get rid of, but there have been people that I've had to just go cold turkey. And this is in my personal life. Like I miss and I long for their conversation, but at some point, if you're not getting what you want or what you need out of a relationship, you've got to kiss that shit goodbye, because you can do bad all by yourself. What do you need a person did you think is supporting you who's not really supporting you around you for? Just not to be alone? Listen, you came into this world alone. It was one pathway. Well, maybe you wasn't alone because you was coming out of something. But at the end of the day, you have to stand by yourself on your own. She tried to turn people against me, and they were like, we see you were attacking her and getting mad when she stops ignoring you. I purge every year. You must prune your trees regularly. People say cut their grass, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, there are some relationships that you must see come to term. That's all. That's it. And there are some relationships that you can cancel for this season, and you might pick them up in another season. So there's infinite possibilities as to what could happen when it comes down to relationships. But at the end of the day, there are some relationships that you just have to let go. And you have to know it. And it's just it's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm not going to be here past the 2 hour mark. I could rock out dolo. I could rock out for hours. But when I say I have some shit to do in my life, I got some shit to do. So you could check me doing those shits. I'm gonna keep the same energy I've had all along. I'm gonna continue to I am doing things differently in terms of how I navigate. Like, I heard something, and this will be my last topic, and this had nothing to do with me. I heard something the other day where people were alleging that other people have to buy relationships on this YouTube. And it put me in a state of mind of what out of my personal preferences have I foregone, let go, in order to keep the YouTube channel going. And there was a few compromises I made along the way. And I didn't want to make those compromises. Oh my God. Oh, I got a visitor. Good morning. Y'all know I'll be up in here like I got a visitor. Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can. How are you
Well,
today, Rain and
well,
Woman?
you done got me out the bed.
Oh, how did I do that?
I was chilling, not ready to get up yet. Hold on a second. I'm gonna change up my headset. Hold on a second.
Okay, you do what you gotta do. Welcome, Rain and Woman, to the show, y'all.
Okay, so um first of all, look at you. You look so amazingly beautiful this morning. All glam. I'm like, I am sitting in the bed and Mo is like up, on screen, pressed, primped and pressed, y'all. But I wanted to comment on the relationship things that you're touching on. Because sometimes, oh wait, you know what? I gotta fix this too. What's going on here?
You
Wait a
sound
minute.
good, though.
I sound good? Okay, let's
You
see
sure
here.
do.
Okay, so
Oh, that's different.
people think sometimes that every time a relationship or a friendship comes to an end, it's a bad thing, right? Or that or that there is love lost, and that's not always the case. Sometimes friendships and relationships have just come full term. There's nothing left to give or take from it, and so if you try to hold on to relationships, just to hold on to people because you want to linger in what was given from the past. And there's nothing left, like I said, nothing left to give or take. You're essentially just keeping people around to be placeholders. And that's not good for neither you or them. It is time to go and give and receive from other people. And maybe later on, like Mo said, maybe later on, things will come back around and it'll be time to meet again for another part of your journey. And then again, maybe not. You really never know. But you must be willing to let go in love the same way you're willing to open up in love.
So isn't that saying, if you love something, let it go. If it returns, then it
Mm-hmm.
was meant to be. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but at, at the end of the day, it, to me, you have a problem in your personal life if it
Mm-hmm.
took for you to have the closest relationships ever came from internet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been good morning, honey. Like that's been like crazy to me. Um, when I see that, because when a holiday like Thanksgiving comes around, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
know it's the time that people do spend with family, and it's a hard time for many. You
Yes.
understand? Because many have probably lost family and they can't be around the people that they were around before because they're no longer here. They don't exist anymore,
Yes.
right? So it's a hard thing when you see folks still reaching out to people on the internet for love and affection and all this other stuff. I have to be like, yo, that's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Go get therapy. Like, go get real therapists, not the ones
Yes.
you, not me giving you advice on here, other than me saying go get you a therapist in real life. If
Mm-hmm.
in your personal day-to-day operation, when there's no YouTube running and there's
Yes.
no social apps available, when you're just sitting there with yourself, how is yourself handling yourself?
Mm-hmm. That's
Get
facts.
somebody to help you handle that. Like, it's that time. I've been here 5 years amongst people that are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt people. You need to seek refuge somewhere in that. That's all I'm saying at this point. There.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know what's going on this side of town because I haven't really decided what side of town you came in on. But I see you as
All right.
no, I know you're in the black spear somewhere. I never know what set anybody claims. And I know I just offended that person like crazy. But I was like, what set you claim? But I don't know. But from the people I met and interacting with you, they've all been great relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Uh not anything bad I could report back. But
Yeah.
I came from a place where we extended our relationships beyond the chat, and they're
Yeah.
not healthy. They're just not healthy.
Yeah. And well, excuse me, that happens also with things offline. Let me continue to piggyback, but I cannot do this all day, girl. I got a plumber to come handle some issues in a minute. But so look, I need to get up anyway, right? But you know, this is a very delicate time of year for a lot of people. If I'm not mistaken, in this season is when a lot of suicides happen, right? Um, and because of people, like you said, they don't have any loved ones right now, or they're feeling alone and lost. They've lost so many people or whatever. And therapy is definitely needed. We must also realize that even therapists take time off. Even therapists a lot of times take this time of season off. They may have someone available, but if not, please know that if you cannot get a satisfaction filled, from online, or your therapist not available, there is crisis lines that are available, or even therapeutic and talk lines available 24/7 around the clock. And you can call into these numbers anonymously, and it's healthy to even just speak, to just have someone else that doesn't have anything invested to listen to you, let you vent, let you just work some things out, because sometimes while you're talking, you'll work some things out while you're talking. And if that will get you from the next moment to the next moment to the next day to the next day to the next week, in between time, I highly advise and recommend that you do that, that anyone do that, because what's a crisis for you right now may not be a crisis for someone else, but it doesn't make what you're going through any less relevant, any less necessary or needed. It doesn't make it. It just doesn't make it less. And don't you feel less than if that's the place where you're in right now. A crisis for one person, not a crisis for someone else. What's a crisis for me may not be a crisis for you. And then that's life. And that's just that just is what it is. I think that's all I want to touch on right now. I think that
All
was
right.
it.
Well, I just want to close out with this about having no life. Like it's easy for me to say that you don't have a life, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm living my best life at this moment, right? So
Mhm.
I'm not in that feeling of I'm not in that feeling of despair, right? But this petty pain and suffering that people are going through
Mhm.
actively on this YouTube, you
Mm.
not allow your pain, your suffering to become somebody else's content.
Yes.
Because these folks will monopolize on your pain and suffering. And that's basically what I see going on right now.
Mhm.
Because it's content driven.
Mhm.
Seeing this hurt and pain is giving somebody some kind of content. I don't want to play in it either which way.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, because people say such nasty things about me in how they convey their stories, I just have
Mhm.
to feel like I know you're miserable.
Mhm.
I understand your pain. And because you have no life and I am
Mhm.
living my best, I
Living your best
suggest
life, girl.
you do the same thing. I suggest you get with it and try to, work with the cards that were dealt to you. And if you
Mhm.
don't like that hand, hand it in. Get another one. Have them deal you another hand. But play better on here. And that's what I see. Thank you, Rain and Woman, for coming up and sharing your thoughts on the topic.
You're welcome. Well, thank you for allowing me up in your space, honey. Have a
Well,
great day, and
I'll see you over in your town soon. And thank you
okay.
for sharing the video.
Okay, dear. Have a great one.
All right.
Peace.
Toodles. Anyway, everybody. Hey, Miss G. You're a day oneer. Miss G, I'm gonna contact you offline because the funny thing about it, are you available now? Because I'll call you when I get off of this. Because there's some things running
Have a
around
great
this.
day, and
I'll see you over in your town. Hold on.
okay, dear. Have a great one.
So I will work. I will reach out to you, Miss G, if you let me know if you good. Let me know if you around, Miss G. Cause um that's it. And happy holidays to you, whatever y'all call this shit. And that's it. Um and that's it. Mm. Anyway, I'll text you. I'm going to the salon because if I get stuck in the freaking nail salon with all these hoochies with these messed up toes, I'm gonna be so mad at y'all. Anyway, this is Mo, and I've got to go.